Welcome to Night Shift, top secret information, where political commentator and social media influencer Conservative Ant and myself, special operations veteran and former police officer, have been tasked by the C- Media Network and Failure to Stop podcast channel to deep dive the rabbit hole for the course of 1 year, to learn as much as we can about the rabbit hole, to even see if a rabbit hole even exists. So tonight, it's all about the Doomsday Clock and top secret bunkers. How close are we to the apocalypse and what happens afterwards? Joining me this evening, as always, my amazing co-host at Conservative Ant, Anthony Ramonde.
Hi, how are you?
What's going on?
Oh, great.
Ant, are you great? It's been a busy 2 weeks, has it not?
Great. Yeah, no, it has been a really busy 2 weeks, busy day. We lost an hour today, right? They say we gain an hour of sleep. I feel like today is the longest day of my life.
I don't know. I don't know why even the time change exists. Maybe that's part of the rabbit hole we should have dove down to.
I thought that was over. Like, I thought we weren't going to do that anymore. Is that?
Yeah, it's 2023, baby. We don't have the technology to just keep the time the same as always. We do have a live chat tonight, even though we're like an hour early. But listen, we are two busy guys that do lots of other things other than podcasting. And you've got like a deep sea fishing trip tomorrow.
Yeah, so I surprised James with a deep sea fishing. Well, it's shark fishing, but it was supposed to be for our anniversary on Halloween, but Halloween. So so it's gonna be tomorrow, and it's also slipped my mind. I would not remember my anniversary if it wasn't on I did it on purpose that it was on Halloween, so I specifically didn't forget. Like, I would do it on the 4th of July. Like, any holiday, I would probably make my anniversary.
Right. Well, we've been all over the place this morning trying to get our schedules together, but the research has been done. And so we're ready to go. And look, man, this is scary stuff. This is scary stuff. The Doomsday Clock has inched even closer to Doomsday.
Yeah, no, I feel like it has even more so now in the last year, would you say?
Yeah.
The Doomsday Clock?
Yeah. Matter of fact, if you want to get really into it, and the Doomsday Clock, because I think we have to talk about top secret bunkers, which is what our show's all about tonight. By the way, today's show is brought to you by ghostbed.com/ant, A-N-T. And right now they're running 50% off Ghostbed deals. They got the Ghostbed pillows, the cooling sheets, all of the mattresses. They literally have a mattress for everyone. Ant and I went to the Ghostbed facility. We get to lay on the Serena Williams edition, as well as a whole bunch of other ones with the zero gravity, the massage modes, all the adjustable bases. Head over to ghostbed.com and get you sleep so good it's scary. /Ant, promo code ANT. That's ANT for Anthony, Conservative Ant. Get you 50% off going into this holiday weekend.
I love my
all of your holiday shopping now. Do it now before Black Friday.
Yeah, can I say one thing about the comments? I love the live comments, by the way. But Rip Pack, holy cow, dude! I remember Rip Pack gave me stuff long ago, early on in my career, so it's good to see him here. It was like a couple of years ago, I feel like.
Yeah, he's rad. He hooks my kids up with a whole bunch of Grommet Vomit stuff. They've been repping the Grommet Vomit sponsor. Matter of fact, they did a demo yesterday, and a whole bunch of people were asking them what their sponsors were, and my kids were like, Rip Pack, and they were like, what's Rip Pack? So like they've been rocking that. That was like one of their first sponsors too. So they've always had the Rip Pack on their things. And Greg LaMontagne just happens to be in the chat. Had no idea. This was not planned, but they run the Bar is Open podcast.
Oh my
goodness. I'm a huge fan of, and I'm actually wearing their shirt, and they're in the live chat. I don't know if they've ever been in one of our live chats. So like, bro, that's like the stars aligning. It must be the end of the world if Greg LaMontagne is in here from the Bar is Open with Beth and Krebs. So very cool. It's one of my favorite shirts, and they've also sent my kids shirts, and that was my son's first podcast being a guest on somebody else's show as the bar is open. So wow, Rip Pack, dude, what? Is that full moon tonight? What's going on? This is wild.
I felt it. No, it is not a full moon tonight. But
yeah, Greg says it's the first time he's ever been in on a Sunday. So that's wild. Like, what are the odds that I would be wearing his shirt and he would be in here, and then Rip Pack was your friend? Yeah, anyway, though it's all
Rip Pack was like one of the first companies that sent me something, but I didn't really know at the time what to do with any of it because I was
brush your fucking teeth with it.
No, I know, but like how to push it. You know what I'm saying? It was like early on in my
you socials. Were new.
Yeah, and I didn't know where to like place it.
Oh, bro, could you imagine the videos you could do now? Brushing your teeth with Rip Pack, like pouring the powder in your mouth.
God.
Dude, so much content there.
Out in the wild. Yeah. You and I brushing each other's teeth. That would
bro, oh my gosh. Well, okay, here we go. They're not even a sponsor of today's show, Rip Pack, but because we're talking about doomsday clocks and the Armageddon, there's actually a fact that I was going to bring to you that one of these underground bunkers broke down how much toilet paper would be needed to survive a nuclear blast in some of these top secret bunkers that all of our politicians and elites will be living in when doomsday actually occurs. And so they have replaced all the toilets in the facilities with bidets.
Holy crap.
Because it literally saved them $3 million to switch to bidets so they didn't have to supply everybody living in these underground bunkers during the nuclear holocaust with toilet paper. How crazy is something you wouldn't even think about?
No, yeah, so, you wouldn't think about it.
I wonder if they have Rip Pack, which is, for those of you who don't know, Rip Pack is a powder toothpaste that you don't need water for. You pour the powder in your mouth, you swish it around, it activates, it's perforated, kind of like Pop Rocks, and it brushes your teeth without having to have a toothbrush. They give you a little horsehair wooden toothbrush, which is like super good for the environment toothbrush that you can brush it with if you are able to carry one. But you just keep these little tiny Rip Packs in your car or wherever. If you got coffee mouth, cigarette mouth, cigar mouth, you pour it in there, swish it around, you spit it out. So I wonder like how good Rip Pack would be inside of a doomsday bunker.
Can I just say, I thought that I was nasty. Our people are nastier, so I don't feel bad anymore when I go in.
Oh, you refer to fuckface over here who says gets rid of the cock taste out of your mouth. Are you saying that because somebody on this show is gay?
I mean, if he was, it's clever as fuck. But I'm just saying, I thought I was the nasty one, and no, Rip Pack, it's not the same address. So just reach out to me.
Oh, speaking of same address,
I was like, wow, it's Sunday, guys. This is,
I know it's the Lord's Day and we're already getting nasty. We haven't even got into the show yet, but
right.
But listen, we're not here for comedy. We're not here to make you guys laugh. That's just
we are.
That's just a free bonus, dude.
Yeah.
Free bonus for what you get for when you come into Night Shift Top Secret Information. But today's show is all about the Doomsday Clock and top secret bunkers and how close are we actually to Armageddon. This is really, really scary. For those of you who don't know about the Doomsday Clock is, and this is literally coming from the doomsdayclockbulletin.org. So there's an organization that's set up all about the Doomsday Clock. And the Doomsday Clock is a design that warns the public about how close we are to destroying our world with dangerous technologies of our own making. It is a metaphor, a reminder of the perils we must address if we are to survive the planet. It was started in 1947, and it's led by a group of nuclear physicists, scientists, after the invention of nuclear weapons. So I'm guessing with all the world's minds, like the brightest minds in the world combined together, they felt that the end of the world is in the palm of nuclear weaponry, not climate change, not natural disaster, but nuclear war.
Okay. So that makes sense. And I feel like with everything that's going on right now, it kind of seems a little bit more realistic. How far down is this bunker, though, for you to have to
survive nuclear
holocaust?
Able
to survive? Yeah. Like how far down does it have to be? How much?
200 feet for the bunker. But it's not just the bunker. So The reason why I know that you wanted to talk about top secret bunkers, and we're definitely going to get into that, but we really can't talk about the bunkers until we talk about the Doomsday Clock, because Doomsday Clock is kind of what inches everybody towards the bunkers.
Okay.
Put it this way. In 2012, we were 5 minutes to midnight. Midnight being nuclear devastation. In 2015, they moved the clock to 3 minutes. And then in 2018, it went to 2 minutes. Right now, we're at 90 seconds, baby.
Whoa.
We're at 90 seconds. So I guess, you know, if you want to know who decides the time, it's...
I hope it's not Hunter Biden.
No, it's ran by a science and security board. They took over the responsibility in 1973. And the board is made up of scientists and other experts with deep knowledge of nuclear technology, climate science, that they provide expert advice to the government, international agencies, and they consult widely with their colleagues across a range of disciplines, and also seek the view of the bulletin's board of sponsors, which includes 10 Nobel Prize laureates. So, right. Yeah. I, you know, and I think it's like politically motivated too, because in 2000, when did Trump come into office?
Would that have been like 2015?
Yes. And so that's when they moved it to 3 minutes, which was the first time it had been moved significantly since 9/11. And of course, like we know why it was moved to nuclear war in 9/11. But other than that, it hadn't really moved since the 80s.
2016, sorry. I voted for him in 2016.
Okay, so then it was set to 2.5 minutes after midnight. Well, what happened in 2015? Let me see what happened in 2015 that it moved. The clock moved in, let's see, in 2015, unchecked climate change, global nuclear weapon modernizations, and outsized nuclear weapons arsenal pose extraordinary and undeniable threats to continued existence of humanity, and world leaders have failed to act with speed or on the scale required to protect citizens from potential catastrophe. These failures of political leadership endanger every person on Earth. So again, very political. Like it's all on the head of political soldiers, which, yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
So during Trump's presidency, it was at what?
So they moved it when Trump came in 2006, 2000, what did you say?
16.
2016. So the in 2017, so it moved from 5 minutes to 3 minutes in 2015. And then it moved to, hang on, let me go back, because I'm getting confused. In 2015, it was 3 minutes to midnight. In 2017, it moved to 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
And now?
And then in 2018, again, that would be still during Trump's presidency, they moved it to 2 minutes. Let's see why they did it in 2018. The reason why they did it in 2018, the year just passed proved perilous and chaotic. A year in which many of the risk foreshadowed in our last clock statement came into full relief. In 2017, we saw reckless language in the nuclear realm heat up already dangerous situations and relearn that minimizing evidence-based assessments regarding climate and other global challenges does not lead to better public policies.
Dude, although now it's got to be at like 5 seconds.
Dude, it's at 90 seconds. It's really close now. So let's read why it's at 90 seconds.
Because Joe Biden's the president.
Actually, they moved it again in 2020 to 100 seconds. Let's see why they did it there. The reason why they did it there, they said this was a letter that the Doomsday Clock wrote to leaders and citizens of the world. We are closer than ever. It is 100 seconds to midnight. Date, January 23rd, 2020. Humanity continues to face two simultaneous existential dangers, nuclear war and climate change, that are compounded by a threat multiplier, cyber-enabled information warfare that undercuts society's abilities to respond. The international security situation is dire, not just because these threats exist, but because world leaders have allowed the intentional political infrastructure for managing them to erode. That was in 2020.
Every time somebody mentions the word climate change, I like doze off.
Well, so this one, it's always been climate change and nuclear war, but now they've added in 2020 cyber warfare. Okay. That's the big difference takeaway there. Now we are at 100 seconds. No, we're at 90 seconds. I'm sorry. We're at 90 seconds to midnight. And here's the note to the readers. Now from the bulletin, it says, to leaders and citizens of the world, we are closer than ever. 90 seconds till midnight. Literally, they haven't updated this. It says the same shit.
So 90 seconds till midnight. Okay.
Basically, they're saying that because of the war in Ukraine is what they're talking about. And I'm guessing when they wrote this, they didn't even think about the war that's going on right now in Israel and Hamas. So when this was written, the last time that they've all convened and decided what time it is was all based on the Ukraine war. Oh boy, when they come back to meet, are they going to be in for a doozy?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be like 5 seconds. Here's the thing. I think that, I mean, so this president has 2 wars and inflation under his belt. I mean, that's just being nice.
So Greg LaMontagne says, he heard another conspiracy today. He says, are we letting people into the country because we need bodies for World War III? That's interesting, because why? I've been asking this for the last couple of days. Maybe you as a political commentator, and you're all up on the know on these things. It makes 0 sense why they would remove those walls and all the barriers to just let people free flow in from the southern border. What would be the purpose of just allowing anybody and everybody to pour in?
Well, first off, boo-boo fuckface, you did not scare me off. I mean, it takes a lot more to scare me off. I probably scare you off before you scare me off. And I don't know if you guys remember, but not too long ago, I think it was probably maybe 4 months ago, New York City or Chicago or both was saying that they were going to start accepting police officers that were not citizens of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was one step. The next step is bust open the borders so that you can have all these bodies, right? So that you can, I mean, we need somebody besides Gen Z. Gen Z is definitely not going to protect. I mean, have you seen these people? This is a mess. So yeah, I mean, why not? I think that having more bodies for World War III is definitely something next Thursday.
Yeah. So speaking of which, there has been a new terrorist warning for terrorist attacks.
We're on
and
high,
that they're
right?
saying that it's like almost imminent. An ex-FBI leader, and I don't have that article because I wasn't planning on talking about that today. And that's the beauties and joys of a live chat. People ask us questions that we may or may not be ready to answer, but there was an article from an ex-FBI agent, and I think you can just probably type that in, that was talking about how he thinks that a new terror attack on the United States is imminent, meaning in the next couple of weeks, because every major Muslim leader in the Muslim world has called for an attack in the United States. So we'll see what happens there. Again, my Tanstradamus prediction, I predicted this from the beginning, man. Like I feel like Doomsday is coming quick because I feel like that's the only way for the controlling elites to maintain control. But that's me not being objective in the rabbit hole. That's just my personal opinion.
Right. But, well, so I mean, you guys can tell me maybe I'm wrong or whatever, but it's just my opinion or what have you. I think that because this is a holy war, and you're seeing, I mean, we saw that I don't know how many protesters were at DC yesterday. It was thousands on at the White House. It was the November 6th insurrection. I think that it's going to be something that's going to happen near or around the holidays, because
you think that's where your Anstradamus, conservative Anstradamus prediction is holidays.
Yeah. So yesterday, what's today's date? So today, so November 4th. So the November 4th insurrection happened yesterday. Yes, I'm calling it an insurrection. November 4th insurrection happened yesterday. And then the holidays are coming. So not Thanksgiving, but I think around Christmas time, because it's very important to Christians and Catholics. And
I would
think
guess it
that
would be after
maybe-
Ramadan. I don't think that they would do anything during
maybe
Ramadan period. The Muslims will take
maybe.
that break. So yeah, you could be right. Could be somewhere around
I don't know.
the
It's just a
Christmas
thought.
holiday. I mean, listen, we all have
I
our
just wouldn't be in
predictions.
a major city.
Follow us at nightshift_TSI on Instagram. We'll put a poll up and we'll see when you think the end of the world is coming, the doomsday. But today's show, we're going to give a little bit of credit to journalist Garrett Kraft. I've listened to many podcasts that he's been on, many news outlets that he's been on. Garrett Kraft wrote just a painstakingly researched book called Raven Rock, the story of the U.S. government's secret plan to save itself while the rest of us die. Now, I, for one, love a title like that because that's like how sex romance novels are written, you know, with these like extremely long and crazy titles. So
Yeah.
I get the play on that. I think that's really funny, but it's called Raven Rock, the story of the U.S. government's secret plan to save itself while the rest of us die. And it's printed by Simon & Schuster. It's out now. You can go and look at it. But basically, he painstakingly just went through all of the major bunkers and what would happen if there was a doomsday event and what politicians would do. And that was my main takeaway from today's top secret information was what's going on in these bunkers. I think it's absolutely insane. One, there are 3 main underground complexes that you should be aware of. There's over 100 total, but they are all very top secret. But here are the ones that have kind of been ousted. We have Raven Rock, which is in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, and it's right near Camp David. And some people believe, or that there's evidence of, that there's actually a tunnel from Camp David that goes all the way into Raven Rock.
So what is underneath these underground tunnels? Is it full cities?
Raven
because
Rock,
I've seen this as well.
Yes. Raven Rock is a Pentagon backup. It's the backup to the Pentagon, and it's where everybody from the Pentagon is going to go. So anybody that's involved in like what the Pentagon was made for is who's going to be sent to Raven Rock. Mount Weather is where the cabinet, the Supreme Court, and the president will actually go. And Mount Weather is in Virginia. And then we have the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, which is NORAD, the North American the Space Defense Systems, and that is in Colorado, NORAD.
Okay.
And so, but in these facilities,
nothing about like the Ozarks or anything.
Well, there's over 100.
Oh, okay.
And I think what you're talking about in the Ozarks is one not for so much for politicians, but for rich elites. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes. Okay,
so that complex is 54,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And it's a condo underground, 200 feet underground. It is bizarre, my friend. I was looking into this. And you can, I mean, pretty much top secret, even though it's for civilians. It's just for the rich elite. There's not too much out there about it. There's a couple of YouTube videos. There's like one big tour of this place. It has 7 floors for living. It has a dog walking area on the top floors. It has a rock climbing wall. And then on the bottom floors, it has a library, a cinema. It holds 75 people total, which is crazy for 54,000 square feet, especially when the average home is 1,400 square feet. And that holds 4 people. So 75 people, that's like living really, really, really good. Matter of fact, that the rooms in this place are 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. They have 9-foot ceilings.
Jeez.
There's an underground saltwater pool that's like a wave pool to make you feel like you're in the ocean with waterfalls. It's dude, it looks like something out of Disney World.
So fuck a rich person is what you're saying.
Like dude, it has gardens, it has foods. You can drive through the food area. You have a shopping, you are issued a shopping cart, and you can literally shop in the grocery stores under fucking ground. It has filtration that can withstand thousands and thousands of pounds of volcanic ash in case of a volcanic eruption. So most filters, like oxygen filters, what's that?
How's the Wi-Fi in this place?
Yeah, it's got like some kind of doomsday Wi-Fi going on, but it should be sustained without Wi-Fi. It has an underground computer network that can sustain even EMPs and things like that. Like it's its own. The technology that they use for the computer is the same technology that was used to develop AOL and like Skype.
But who are we connecting to if everyone's gone?
Just each other underground. Like it's an underground network.
Oh, okay. You could get rid of Michael Hendricks' little blurb up.
Why? What's Michael Hendricks is hilarious. What did he say?
No, I love Michael Hendricks.
What did he say?
It's just you have it like on the screen where it says,
"Oh shit, my bad." It's just sitting up there. It's because we don't have a producer in here.
I know. Let's run.
You should have said that earlier.
Well, I was trying to get a word in edgewise, you know.
Well, just interrupt me. It's what you do when we're just hanging out.
Yeah, you know, I think that there's a lot more than just because they're not going to want any of, you know, just us. I mean, we'll be a pain in the ass to them. So the rich elite, probably doctors, right? Probably scientists, probably anybody that would make the next world.
Oh yeah, it's definitely scientists, lawyers, attorneys.
Inventors.
It's $1 million to buy a suite in this place.
Y'all better start fucking millionaires.
Okay? It's $1 million, but there's only 75. They're working on some more. They're building some more of these. But that doesn't really have so much to do with Doomsday. That's just like where the rich elites are going to go. Well, I think is much more fascinating is how much money our government spends on Doomsday. So, for instance, there used to be, it's changed now, but an E-4 night watch plane, 747. It's a Boeing 747, basically, and it stands alert, ready to evacuate the president, and can fly anywhere above the country for 3 days to manage Doomsday. Now, here's the crazy thing about this. So you know that like the movies where the president has like he has a suitcase and he can just open it up and there's a nuclear detonation device in there with the phone and all the stuff.
Yeah,
that's 100% real.
Oh, of course it is.
No, it's like legit real. Like I have all my research in here. Like that is a thing. And most of the precautions that are taken for the president are literally to protect that briefcase. They have so check this out, dude. This is wild. So this one has been replaced. So this was they used these in 1974. They now have new planes. But it was the E-4B militarized version of the Boeing 747. It served as the National Airborne Operations Center for the President, Secretary of Defense, and Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. The first was delivered to the Air Force in 1974 and took over duties for the EC-135J previously in the same role. In the years since, the team has been continuous to alter and ensure the plane can be airborne within minutes. Bro, they have these all over the country. They can fly these. They're like basically Air Force Ones, except these have more technology than the Air Force One. It's in fucking insane, dude. These things are badass. They have command work area, conference rooms, briefing rooms. They have operation teamwork areas. It holds 112 people, but there are 15 people who are assigned, military professionals that are assigned to these aircrafts. Pilots, their navigators, flight engineers, aircraft maintenance. And the crazy thing about one of these is they keep one in the air 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So just in case some nuclear shit happens, they have one of these planes in the air. And this is what I thought was nuts about these planes. They drag a 5-mile long cable that sends out like different communications in the event of an EMP.
What the fuck?
Dude, and they're flying around. Like how many thousands and thousands?
Is it the same planes that are putting lines in the sky?
I don't think so. These aircraft have been reported to have more technological advances than Air Force One. Let's see. The E-4B is always on 24-hour alert, along with global watch team at one of the many designated bases worldwide. The location of each aircraft is often guarded with much secrecy, with exception of the permanently stationed in Nebraska And the only model for which media has been allowed to access was that one in Nebraska. And so this was called Operation Looking Glass, and it was declassified. And this is from minutemissile.com. And yeah, dude, it's freaking crazy. Actually, the picture of the Boeing EC-135, which is the new one that they're flying, the only picture that they really have of it is it has one of those little chemtrails behind it, if you believe in chemtrail.
I told you so. Yeah. So how long of a here's where I'm trying to figure out. So these people, okay, the president of the United States, Joe Biden, whatever, they're gonna throw the bag of bones into a bunker, right? This underground bunker.
Well, they're gonna probably put him on the plane.
Oh, they're gonna put him on the plane.
Yeah, and it's the new one is the Boeing
doesn't have to walk up the
E6B
stairs.
Mercury. What's that?
I hope he doesn't have to walk up the stairs. He doesn't do that very well.
Probably does. And this is just what we know about. Like this, like I'm telling you right now, I guarantee we don't really know.
But my thing is if a nuclear bomb goes off, everyone's gonna be dead. Like, how would you have time to go to these places?
So these aircraft, that can pick up the president, allegedly can pick up the president anywhere in the United States in 13 minutes.
Holy shit! Yeah. 13 minutes.
But they have a lot. They dude, it's a web of helicopters and aircraft to get this guy.
Why is he airborne. So important like that?
Dude, it's not only him, but they have. Listen to this. So Mount Weather. Again, this is all classified information that you can't really. You have to do like really extensive research to find it. This is not stuff that you can just Google. I mean, the stuff that I'm giving you is just Googleable, but like you got to take with a grain of salt that what you can find on Google is probably
they filter
fucking decades behind of what they can actually do now. So Mount Weather, which is in Virginia, boasted that it has one of the most extensive computer systems of all time. And they have they base it off of all of the technology used for AOL Messenger and Skype, which is what they're using in all these bunkers. So I guess whatever technology was way back then was like that was the best of the best, I guess. But there's a survivors list of 6,500 names, allegedly, and addresses of people that the government, employees, and private citizens that are viewed as vital and key to maintaining essential and non-erupted service in an emergency. So they have a plan to get 6,500 people scooped up and into this fucking Mount Weather.
So I'm just wondering who we got to fuck to be on this list.
Dude, also, so there's another one called Peters Mountain in Appalachian Mountains, Virginia. And that's where all the CIA and intelligence assets go. Peters Mountain, Virginia is a longstanding facility run undercover as an AT&T communication station. That's even there's even an AT&T logo painted on the helicopter pad. They're actually key hubs for government community planning, blah, blah, blah. But
same thing with Verizon. I bet you they're involved with this shit too.
Well, right? No. So the big one here, though, is I don't know if you know about this, but there is a Operation Titan Point. It's on 33 Thomas Street in New York City. And dude, have you heard about this?
I have not heard about this. Please indulge.
This is fucking wild. Let me just type it in 33 Thomas Street. So this is a building. And you know what's crazy about this building is I was on TikTok the other night before I was studying. Well, no, it was probably about 2 weeks ago because it was before I started studying for this episode. And there's a building in New York. And it's like it's like, you know how you go on TikTok and there's like the top 10 creepiest buildings on the planet?
Yeah.
Like top 5. And there's a building in New York that's a high rise with 0 windows. What? And not even windows in the doors, and there's no glass. And they showed a picture of this one and said it was in New York City. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I started studying for this. This is coming from Wikipedia, but 33 Thomas Street, formerly the AT&T Long Lines building. Oh, and by the way, if you're in the chats right now, hold on. I'm about to drop some real deal crazy shit on you that I discovered. This is probably the most important thing I've discovered diving through this rabbit hole. and I think it's really important. So just give me 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
But 33
we're
Thomas Street is a 550-foot tall windowless skyscraper in Tribeca neighborhood, which, by the way, the Tribeca restaurant owned by Robert De Niro is in the same town of Lower Manhattan in New York City. It's on the east side of Church Street. Basically, this building is allegedly it's right across the street from the FBI building too in New York. But this building is, in case an EMP goes off, it can withstand a nuclear blast, and it holds all of the like backup communication stuffs for like the fucking world.
Damn.
Like all the big major servers of everything that's like super important is inside this building.
I'm not surprised. I have something for you after you do say what you were going to say.
No, go ahead. What is it?
Y'all have to pay attention now, okay? When you're driving through your local towns, there's buildings that make no motherfucking sense. And they are just they're buildings that look like they're inhabited, but there's no name on them. There's cars in the parking lot that are usually, I don't know, like maybe a not the box truck, but what are those small little vans? You know what I'm talking about. There's no activity there, but they're like just there. And I noticed it back in Illinois where I grew up. I noticed it here in Southwest Florida. I'll have to point it out to you, Eric, when we're hanging out.
There's one in Raleigh that I'm familiar with, and it houses a water system for like the whole part of the city, but they built a house. It's a farmhouse. It's a rectangular farm style house that's completely empty. And they literally built it because there's a water station there and they didn't want it to detract from the neighborhood. So it's got a lawn, a driveway, a mailbox. It looks like a house in the neighborhood, but it's just a shell. And what's inside is like a water processing plant, like a water cleansing area.
So I've seen that. These places are in like industrial parks, commercial areas, any type. So if you see a building that you're like, I wonder what that is. Like, I've never known what that was.
We need to get this graph guy. We need to get him on our podcast. This guy that wrote the book. Because this dude is a genius. He would be a great guest. His name is Garrett Graff. We need to look him up and get a breakdown of it on the show.
Okay.
So here's what I was going to bring out to you. These underground bunkers, like NORAD, they're fully stocked with reservoirs that you can row a boat down. They are massive. They can hold hundreds and hundreds of people. They have plans for everything, dude. They have meeting rooms. They have communication rooms. They have game rooms. They have apartment complexes. They have high-rise buildings inside of these things, allegedly. Now, there's a whole spoof site that's about Raven Rock tours. Hilarious. But it talks about like how you can apply to get a tour of Raven Rock from the government. And bro, I was all in on it. Like I spent an hour on that site reading all the stuff. They have like brochures on there. They have like a gift room. All to see at the very bottom of the site, it says this is a spoof site.
What?
Really pissed me off. But here we go. So
we would totally go.
Dude, I was already like going to surprise you. I was like, whatever the cost is,
I would love that shit.
And you have to get on the Camp David list, and it's a Camp David summer retreat. And I'm like,
oh my god, my nipples are hard. My nipples are so hard.
It was bullshit, and I was like, fuck. I got so excited. Okay, but here's what is crazy. They boast that all of these top secret facilities even have a Subway food chain inside of them. Now,
why?
The only American brand, there was only 2 American brands when I landed in Afghanistan in 2005. When I landed in Afghanistan in 2005, there were only 2 American companies, 3 actually, American companies that had American buildings in Afghanistan. It was Subway, Dairy Queen, and Burger King. And I thought my Subway was everywhere. And I said, well, how did Subway get a fucking deal to where they get to be just like on all of these places in Afghanistan? And then I started thinking, wait a minute, Subway is like king of the pedos.
That part, because that guy, what was his name? Jared. There we go.
King pedo.
Yeah. That
so
makes sense.
Then I was like, wait a minute, it would make so much sense why King pedo And like, because I literally don't know how Subway exists. Have you ever seen a busy Subway restaurant?
Dude, when I was
They
7,
can't. They don't even. They can't even sell
17,
subs in the Walmart.
dude, the place is trash. If you like Subway, you're trash.
Like, who goes? Like, seriously, I drive by a Subway every single day to
It's
work.
garbage.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody in there.
It's garbage. I worked there for like a day when I was 17, and I wanted to throw everything out the window. It is such trash.
It had its time, but that time has
in the
long
80s,
since passed.
80s, maybe 90s. 90s was it big? I don't know.
Is there anybody in the chat that still goes to Subway? We're not going to make fun of you, but like,
I am.
How does Subway still exist?
I mean, can we like let's go to Jimmy John's at this point or something else? I don't know.
Dude,
no, I agree. And when we have our trafficking guest on, we're not. She's not a trafficker, but she fights and finds trafficked victims. She's got a lot of information, a lot of shit that's gonna blow y'all's mind. But that's a really good one. You know what else I think is a little strange? Well, I'm not going to say it.
Say it. Just say it.
I think that it's weird that but yeah, I know it's my show, but I think it's a little weird that I'm surprised my local mall still has that one loyal Subway restaurant. I think it's weird that there's like mattress firms like 4 in like every town. Did you ever notice that? Yeah. But why are there so many so close? There's a mattress firm here, and then right down there's like, pay attention again in your towns and how many mattress firms there are. Like, realistically, you change your mattress maybe every 10, 15 years? Have you ever seen a mattress firm so busy?
No. Who buys mattresses or mattress? Looks like cupcakes and cameos in the chats that she said. First, I took away where I always shit on people on failure to stop for wearing pajamas past like 8 a.m. Like, I think you're trash. Like, if you leave your house with pajamas on and it's not before 8 o'clock in the morning, you're fucking a loser. And now we're making fun of Subway. So she says, what else are you going to take away from me? First, PJs after 8 p.m. And now I can't eat at Subway. I'm so sorry. But maybe this is like,
if you wear PJs, you're trash. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe we just look inside our life and say, like, man, how do I be great like Eric? How do I be amazing like Tansy? Tell me at Subway.
I mean, I'm a pretty upstanding citizen. I would look into me first.
Sure, and you definitely don't wear pajamas after 8.
I don't even know what pajamas are. I thought we wore pajamas when we're 6. I mean,
like I stayed at your house. I never saw you in pajamas.
You saw me in the birthday suit in the buff, baby.
I did not see him in the birthday
You wear
suit.
little silkies. They're really cute.
I wear silkies all the time, dude.
And your shit just flops everywhere.
And I never even like thought about it until I wore it at your house. But I was like, oh my God. Like, this must be what girls go through when they wear their little booty shorts. They don't even think that it could arouse another dude.
So
and then I'm wearing my Ranger panties. I was like, oh shit.
So let me just
fucking teasing this dude right now.
Yeah, for sure. So let me just put it in perspective for you as like a teenage boy. Teenage boy at your buddy's house. The older sister comes downstairs and she's wearing like no bra with like a negligee, like a super silky, like spaghetti strap shirt, right?
Yeah.
You come out of the room with silky shorts, like the whatever they're called,
and a cutoff tee, because that's what I wear every single night.
And so I'm like, okay, so this is fucking great.
Oh,
amazing.
God. I didn't know.
No, it's fine. I mean,
caused you to sin.
What?
I caused you to sin.
Oh God.
I caused you to have lustful thoughts.
Oh, but it's like that guy at the beach that like he's wearing like a Speedo, the actual Speedo, and then he walks by and you're like, how do you not look at this dude? Like,
dude, I like even a straight guy looks at a dude in Speedos.
See what I mean? But I've been around enough of y'all military guys.
Listen, I saw a girl tonight.
Little booty shorts.
I saw a lady tonight at Food Line, and
she was wearing booty shorts.
No, she was wearing like leggings, but she had like a tank top on with no bra and the saggiest tits I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's always the people you don't want to see.
And she was trying to get like a case of water off the bottom shelf. the food line, and her titty fell out the side of
Stop
the
it right
fucking.
now.
Yeah, her
I would
titty
have been
fell
like, girl,
out the
yo,
side.
big old titties hanging
Yo,
out.
I
would
was
have said it out
mesmerized.
loud.
I was like, what's the social like expectation here? Because I feel like I can't look away. It was the biggest areola I've ever seen in my
Bro, like
whole life.
pepperoni.
No, way bigger. Like
a
dinner
salami.
plate, like an Italian dinner plate, like to hold all the pasta. It was huge. I don't even think I ever saw the nipple. Like it was just a massive areola.
I would have definitely said something. It's like, you know, living in South Florida, sometimes you'll like, say you're getting your oil changed. And yes, you do need to clip it together. And you're sitting there and, you know, you have these old guys that like pull up and stuff, whatever. And they're sitting there, dude, and their nut hangs out of the bottom of their shorts. You're like,
UPS guys.
If it was a UPS guy, they're hot. Everybody whose titty falls out or nut sack falls out is always busted.
Yeah, it's not the one you want to see.
They look beat. If you go to the nude beach, definitely not good looking people. If you go to the nude beach, it's beach. If you go to the nude beach, it's always like the guy that is in the locker room that walks around naked. Like, dude, you're 450 pounds, bro.
Dude, I wonder what the rules are in the pool and who governs the rules for those 75 people in the rich elite doomsday bunker.
I don't know.
Like they have to have rules. Well, here's something interesting that I learned today. That in the Raven Rock bunker, there is the one that this guy that wrote about it. What's his name? Garrett Graff.
Okay. Yeah.
He said that one thing that he noticed, which was really crazy, was they have like a whole huge, ginormous room for riot equipment.
Why?
And they have a full-time cop that's just in there getting paid. So what they're assuming here, and this book is killer, dude. Like I've only skimmed it. Again, the book is called Raven Rock, the story of the U.S. government's secret plan to save itself. Insane. You should go buy it.
Yeah.
But basically what it's assuming here is that when everybody's down there in Raven Rock, like the thousands of people that it can hold, it's like there's only 200 days worth of food in there. So, and there's a morgue and a crematorium in there, by the way, too. So what they're assuming here by having this big riot gear thing is that they're probably going to have to be like, well, non-important personnel.
Yeah. Crispy donut community smash for sure. It's smash. Listen, my question to you is with all who's working at these places, because I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, you have to have like super secret, top secret.
So somebody who's making tons of money is just going to work at a Burger King and a secret bunker?
Well, who works at the Burger King in Afghanistan?
I don't know. I mean,
I went to it.
And
just regular people. The regular people.
I'm not saying that people are not regular people that work at these places. I worked at places like this before too. But we're not of the elites to go and live under these people. So
yeah, because I guess if you're working at the Burger King,
what I'm saying, they're bringing trafficked people.
You think they're trafficking people into these underground bunkers?
They're trafficking people out here. You think these elite people will go down there without getting ass?
I think that's funny
and not trafficking for money.
That's true. Bro. I think it's funny that Subway is the number one like go to.
It's literally literally that place is garbage.
Right. And what rich elite person goes to fucking Subway? So why did they choose Subway, the pedo king restaurant of the, like, you know what I'm talking about, with all these conspiracies that we talk about and all the tinfoil hat wearers and everybody that thinks that there's just this cabal of fucking lustful child rapists, but then they choose Subway to be in all of their bunkers for all their politicians. Like, it's a little fucking weird.
It's got to be some with the owner of Subway.
I wonder if they have a pizza joint in there.
A pizza joint?
Yeah, you remember the Pizzagate?
Oh, the pizza slice. Yeah.
You know, we should probably do a whole episode, but that'll get us removed from you can't even say that. Pepperoni Gate. You can't say that without them kicking you off of YouTube.
Why?
One of my first demonetizations across the board, where they demonetized us for 3 months, was from talking about
So they're going to
pepperoni
get
and
us for this one.
cheesecake. No, I'm not going to go into it too deep.
Oh,
so
it's if you do like a whole thing on it.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's super weird to me. I mean, I'm just trying to think in my mind like who all these people are. And all I can keep thinking about is, have you seen that new city that's in one long line that go? Did we talk about this already?
What's
the
that?
one that's in Saudi Arabia?
No.
It's called The Line.
Okay.
And it's in the middle of the desert.
Okay.
And it literally houses millions of people. And it's one line. Look it up right now. Put in The Line.
Okay.
The
So
line.
I was going to say that we're not the only country that has doomsday things. Russia has a doomsday community that's like under the ocean.
How?
Hmm?
How is it?
You have to take a subway.
Ocean?
You have to take a subway. You have to take a submarine to get there.
Well, we saw how that turned out for the people that wanted to see the little Titanic.
Oh, yeah. Dumb.
We can't even go down and see the Titanic. They want to put a whole ass subway.
It's not that. No, it literally exists, and the UN was like bothered by it, but they finally were finally granted access to go down there and like research it, and it was literally just that, just an underground bunker to secure the elites of Russia. So there was no nuclear testing going on down there or anything. But I mean, dude, you don't even think, when you think Russia, you don't think of technology that would allow them to go under the ocean and have an underground city, but it's huge.
Why do they not seem smart to you or something?
Well, I mean, yeah, all the movies would make us think that they're not very smart.
They probably are super smart. Do you think that Vladimir Putin is dead? Did you see that he had a heart attack?
Do you think that Hillary Clinton's dead? You've seen the new articles coming out about Hillary Clinton on Twitter?
Wasn't she just online flapping her fucking dick suckers the other day?
Well, yeah, today she's trending on Twitter because yesterday Trump had a speech and he said Hillary Clinton, well, she's not really with us anymore. And then the last video that they have that's on Twitter is like them like carrying her into a van, like a dark black van, and she's like not even moving. They're like, she's dragging her feet. And like, of course, all the the QAnon people are like, oh, she's gone catatonic because they're arresting her finally, and it's all started and blah blah blah. But I mean, I don't know, I don't believe any of it. It's not enough evidence for me, but yeah, it's trending on Twitter right now.
I have not been on
Trump say that
all day. Well, Trump, first of all, is the ultimate G. Like, dude is fucking. Every time I see him on TV, I know that, guys, we always digress.
Let me ask you this, Anthony, because you're a political commentator. Do you think it's realistic that Trump will be the president? There's no fucking way.
I think that they're making it. Here's what I think. I think they're making it they're trying to make it so impossible. Well, the latest numbers came out for swing states yesterday or today, and 4 out of the 5 swing states Trump is beating Biden in. So they're so scared. And then you see Chris Christie just
but yeah, here's the thing. Do you think they're going to let him be the president?
I don't think we're going to get to an election this year.
That's what I was getting at. Dude, there's no way
I don't think any either.
Trump. I think this is all escalating to Doomsday, and that's why the Doomsday clock's coming up. That's why Doomsday clock's popping up. That's why all these things are trending on. I think they're preparing us for a Doomsday, and we have to have a global president to stay in. Even Tim Pool's podcast had a guy on yesterday that said that there will not be. There'll never be another election after 2024.
I don't think there will be. And I think Ukraine dropped that little hint because he did that to his people. That, we're in the middle of a war right now. We can't elect anybody else. Oh, okay.
Right. And what do you think about this? What do you think about so Ukraine's just forgotten. Like, we don't even give a fuck about Ukraine anymore.
They're still getting money.
Like, I haven't heard. Yeah, but nobody's talking about it. Like,
no.
Flying Ukraine flags anymore. Like, now it's Hamas, Israel. It's so funny how they keep us flip-flopping
profile pictures.
But they're definitely inching us closer to this whole World War III type sitch. And
these were the two countries. These were the two religions to do it with.
Yeah,
it wasn't Ukraine. Yeah. This was
right.
it. Yeah.
This is it. And now let me ask you this. So you have all this whole thing going on, and then we have Biden. We have the what was it? Is it New Hampshire with the votes? Delaware? Where is it where they just they just found the girl guilty, like they overturned the election because of
today? Was this today? Because I've been.
It was either yesterday or today.
I haven't seen this yet, but I mean, you just gave me the chills.
They overturned it away from election. Hang on.
Yeah,
it's trending. Overturned election. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when we're live on a Sunday. Oh. Connecticut judge overturns results of mayoral primary just days before election. So this was like 3 days ago. Connecticut. This is coming from WBUR.org. A Connecticut judge has overturned the results of Bridgeport's Democratic mayoral primary, ordering a new election in a decision that comes just days before Bridgeport voters are stated to head to the polls on November 7th. Wednesday's ruling is the latest twist in the election, centering on allegations of absentee ballot abuse. Which, dude, everybody has to know. This is why when COVID happened and they said that they were going to do these absentee ballots and they were going to do these mail-in votes, like I said even then, like they're just setting all this up for a fake election, because there's no reasonable rhyme or reason why you would do that. Like, yeah, the only thing you can make sure that something is close to being legit is if you do it by voter ID.
Yeah.
You have to have an ID. You have to have a license. You have to prove that you're 18, just like when you buy liquor.
Yeah. Well, here's what I will tell people. I'm seeing a lot of flags flying, and I'm not seeing the American flag flying.
Right, a lot of gay flags, a lot of fucking Palestinian flags,
every other flag besides
Ukraine
the flags. Yeah. Y'all better get right with the United. Y'all better get right, because because let me tell you, because this is the United States of America. At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter.
But see, like the rich elite, if you do all the research,
we lose it.
The rich elite, they've already got a plan, dude. They're gonna be okay. They're gonna be in a bunker with their families. They've got a beach down there, dog. They got some subway.
Of course, babe. There's the real Biden is not walking around. I mean, there's like 7 of him. You know what I mean? I mean, they're already safe. Hillary, Obama. I mean, it's Trump that's going to have to, dish out the money for himself. He won't be with the politicians. He'll end up being with the elite side. And, before Trump ran for office, Snoop Dogg, his mom, everybody else wanted to suck his dick and go to his parties. And then he became president, and all of a sudden he got paid off. All these Hollywood elites got paid off to hate Trump. And then guaranteed, when Trump has the mega cave underneath the world, they're all going to be trying to suck his dick again to try to get in.
Trump has
and Trump's going to be like, fuck you. Y'all are done.
You think Trump has an underground barrier?
Fuck yeah. If I was Trump, I would have an underground barrier.
I wonder what's in his.
Dude's got the biggest dick on the planet, bro.
His is just shaped like an underground dick. It's like 2 big giant balls and a huge shaft that goes up.
I saw a comedian. I saw a stand-up comedian the other day, and he was like, does anybody really like Joe Biden? I can't remember his name. They're like, no, Joe Biden ain't got no merch.
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. But I wonder if there's any merch at the in any of these underground bunkers, like NORAD.
Who will be running the merch cart? Who will be running it? You know what I mean? You got to think about who's running these places. Subway. I think that, remember the House of Wax, the movie?
Yeah.
I think that's what subways are. Like, you see them in plazas, but is anybody really in there?
They don't really exist. It's just like this big giant building that's in Manhattan. You know what I mean? This facade building. But what they're saying is that it's the NSA, the National Security Agency, that is like openly spying. And here's the thing. Like, here, let's end it on this. Movies always give us hints. Independence Day gave us all the hints to Project Bluebeam. If you go and research Project Bluebeam and then you go and watch Independence Day, you can see direct correlations to Operation Bluebeam and Project and Independence Day, the film.
Yeah.
If you look at the movie, what's the other Will Smith? It's funny that Will Smith's in all of these movies too, which is kind of weird. But if you look at Men in Black, they go into a similar building. It looks almost identical to the building that's on this Manhattan, this Titan building that they're talking about here. And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And they go inside the building and they sit down, and then and it's just this whole government facility with shooting ranges and everything like that. I mean, that is the exact same thing. If you look at pictures, and we'll put this up on our Night Shift TSI, this Operation Titan Point on 33 Thomas Street in New York City, hidden in plain sight. It's the same exact, like they're dropping hints to you through these films on like real life things that are actually going on.
Yeah.
And same with these TV series and things that talk about NORAD. But I talked to a Delta Force operator, and I try to get him on the phone, but I think he's in Israel right now. But he's actually like one of 5 dudes that can breach the door to NORAD. And I wanted to call and pinpoint him and ask him questions about that, but I wasn't able to get a hold of him. So maybe one day I'll get a hold of him.
I would say the homework for our listeners would be, and then tag us on Instagram. You have to start just paying attention to it's literally in plain sight, but if you're not paying attention and you're not awake, you're not going to see it. You will notice rando buildings in your towns, whether they're high or small buildings, that literally have no fucking operation whatsoever.
Dude, we want to see pictures of these.
And when I go back to Chicago in a couple weeks, I drive right past another one because it's next to where my cousin works, and he questions it. He's like, "Hey, you got to see the activity that's going on at this place. It's super weird. It's literally on a main road, but it's like a brown 1-story building."
Bro, it's so funny that you say that. I drive to this skate park in Fayetteville, and we drive by this brown building that looks abandoned, but there's more concertina wire, and all of the windows are barred up.
Yeah, you can't see.
There's a gate and everything, and it looks like just a piece of shit rundown place. But like, I've always been like, man, what the fuck is in that place that they don't want anybody getting in there?
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Dude, we need to do some exploring. We need to do some exploring. So listen, we just came back from our meetup in Jacksonville, which was dope. We got to get ready for them. There's allegedly we might be having one December 8th. We don't know yet. We're still working on it.
Yeah.
It might be in California, but just to like spin the wheels, get all your friends to follow us on Instagram. Give us a 5-star rating and review. God, that's the most important thing that you can do for this podcast and its infancies. We're still trying to get this thing funded. GhostBed has been more than generous in funding us right here at the beginning, but we need to show good for it. And in order for us to get these bigger guests on there, it costs money. Like people think that running a podcast is free. If you've got friends in low places and they're willing to come on, most of the time you got to pay for a lot of these guests to come on, or you've got to have a big enough following that they want to come on. And although that this podcast is already top 5% right now, trending in the United States, we're top 5% trending. That's still not good enough yet. We're only like, what are we, 6 weeks old, 8 weeks old?
Yeah.
And, but we want to do so much more with this podcast. So what we want to do is we want to go on the road with it, man. We want to go and visit these places. We want to do the research. We want to get hooked up with these guys. Ant and I want to be boots on the ground. This is kind of like a pilot thing that we're doing right now. And so what you can do for us is give us a 5-star rating and review, help us out there, and follow the Featherstop Podcast Network, all the shows on C- Media. Use the promo code ANT for ghostbed.com. All of those little tiny things over the course of this year will hopefully be something that we can present to a TV company, hopefully a veteran owned and operated one, where they'll fund at least a small series of he and I visiting these places. So that's the goal with this show. We'd love to see that happen. So give us a 5-star rating or review on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you download your audio. And then if you're interested in the video and the audio, definitely subscribe on the Featherstop channel. Hit that subscribe button because they're the ones that fund this whole thing, actually. Ghostbed and Featherstop. They're the ones that are paying all the money for this. They're the ones that bought all these microphones and the headphones that you see and the cameras and the lights, and everything's getting better, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again to Doomsday Clock, Top Secret Bunkers. How close are we to Armageddon? I'd say at the end of this episode, how close do you think we are, homie?
2? Doomsday?
Yeah. Do you think we'll come out on the other side, or do you think Doomsday's just
15 seconds away.
You are dark as fuck, dude. I'm gonna give us like 5 minutes, dog.
Listen, anytime I hear a noise outside, this is it. This is it,
bro. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you check your phone to see if there's internet in the middle of the night, so that you know that when you wake up in the morning that like a nuclear bomb's gone off somewhere?
Yes,
bro. I do it all the time. I wake up and I look to see if the hall light is still on for my kids, and if it's not, I'm like, well. I guess when we wake up, it's happened.
I thought it was just me. Yesterday there was like a gaggle of bikes. Is that like or like motorcycles? And it was like, and I was like, oh, that's the siren. Chip's like, I think that's motorcycles. I thought it was the end of the world sirens.
That's what, dude. It's so funny, bro. So funny, man.
See, same people do the same.
Dude, that's so funny, bro.
I kind of like the live show because I like the comments.
Well, we should do it live more often, Mr. Busy Fuck.
No, I can do it live more. Yeah, let's talk. We'll talk about that. I like the live shows. I like the comments.
I like the comments too. All right, homie. Well,
I'm gonna scare you in the middle of the night.
Some people like ditto, bro. Like I woke up. This was like a month ago, and I woke up and the clock was blinking in the kitchen, and I was like, "Fuck." You know, I was like hoping that my phone would be like out of service, and I'm like, "It happened!" Like Doomsday happened.
There's people waiting for this to happen, though. Like they're serious. I mean, I have my neighbors are like, "You gotta bug out bag. You got this."
I am all into that though. Like seriously, you've got to have a plan, especially for your family, bro. Think about your family. Do they know where you're gonna go? Who's going to who? Because when the shit hits the fan, like everybody's gonna go everywhere, and nobody has a plan. I even tried to get a plan with my family. My dad's like, fuck it. So like I've already like written my dad off.
Yo, if anybody knows like, anybody who's like into this survival, we should like reach out to us. We should have them on.
Guys,
like,
if you know somebody that's into something weird and strange, get them on our show. Let's go.
Yeah.
We had that fucking orb guy on. His social media is the listen, I think the guy's got some he's amazing, but like obviously dude's working through some shit, and I can't stop watching his social media. I like that drama. It's like watching Britney Spears, except this dude's not a rich elite. The only difference between him and Britney is that Britney's a rich elite going through some shit. He's not. So if you guys got somebody that knows some shit, Bigfoot shit, alien shit, ghost shit, like you got some crazy stories, all you got to do is DM us and be willing to trust that we're sending you our real phone number, and then you fucking call us.
I mean,
because if I send you my phone number and you be like, "How do I know this is not a scam?" I'm not even gonna fucking talk to you. Not even gonna do
that's on. You'll be talking to Eric. You're not.
No, I do. I got two phones, bro. So I got a podcast phone.
I have this phone, and then I also have this phone just in case you wake up with no internet access. Bitch, listen. And then I also don't play games with me, bitch. I also got my blow up phone too, so I'm ready to go. Who
bro, I'm already into the bunkers, dude. I'm already going to the bunker.
I don't give a shit.
End of the world, doomsday clock. Is that 3 seconds? Get to the bunker. I'm on my way.
That's me. That's
me.
On
my way.
On my way.
No, I'm on my way.
No,
I'm out. I'm on my way. I'll get there first.